Hi all, welcome back to Edgewood channel. So today's topic is kennel cough or canine infectious tracheobronchitis. This disease is very common in India. So we need to actually be very aware of this disease and we need to prevent this disease from getting into our dogs. So introductory part, it is actually a collection of highly contagious infectious diseases of the canine respiratory tract that can cause acute tracheobronchitis and sudden onset of paroxysmal cough lasting for several days. So the moving to the etiological factors or the causative agent, the two most important causes of canine infectious tracheobronchitis are: first one is actually a virus, that is canine para-influenza virus, and next is actually the Bordetella bronchiseptica bacteria. So Bordetella bronchiseptica is very common in case of pasteurolosis of pigs and cows. Other infectious agents that can occasionally occur in case of coughing dogs that also include canine adenovirus, that is CAV2, canine herpes virus, riovirus, and mycoplasmos. So the transmission is actually through fomites, that is personal transmission, cages. That's why it has got a name, kennel cough. If at all we are taking an animal into another cage where there was a dog which is having kennel cough was there, then it can transmit the disease. Food and water bowls all can transmit the disease, that is fomite transmission. Clinical signs, they will be having dry, harsh, and hacking cough. That is actually due to the tracheobronchitis inflammation. Increased production of mucus. Cough will be like high pitched, but because due to the laryngitis and swollen vocal folds. Cough may be elicited by tracheal palpation or pressure. Mucopurulent nasoocular discharge can be seen. Typically, affected dogs continue to eat, remain active and alert, but they will be having fever, which is non-febrile. Incubation period is actually 5 to 7 days, and the primary target of these agents is the upper airway epithelium. They will be completely destroying the upper airway epithelium, which will result in epithelial injury and acute inflammation and dysfunction of the airway cilia. So moving to the diagnosis, they actually through the tentative diagnosis, that is from the clinical signs, history, and etc. Next is hemogram, that is we can check for mild ITB or severe ITB, that is by checking the complete blood count and the F shift and all. Next is the thoracic radiography. So airway cytology, we can go for airway evaluation of the airway cytology, which will be indicating the severe febrile or complicated ITB. Culture, that is nasal swabs or tracheobronchial specimens, can be cultured for Bordetella and Mycoplasma. So virology and serology, we'll be going for virus isolation test, which will be identifying the canine parvo or canine adenovirus, etc. Treatment. Actually, we should go for antibiotics, antitussives, because antitussives will work against the cough, antibiotics will work against the bacteria, corticosteroids, they will be suppressing the inflammation and they will be healing the wounds and all. So this is actually the nasal discharge, nasomuconasal discharge. You can see lacrimal gland will be also dysfunctioning. So you can see this is pus-like nasal discharge, coughing. So kennel cough spreads through hands from contact of infected dogs in the air and food bowls, etc. So animal will be very depressed. So it will be having coughing and cachexia. You can go for steam inhalation in case of dogs, coconut oil inhibition, probiotics, chicken soup, etc. So it's actually highly contagious, can be cured with antibiotics. So bronchodilators can be given to prevent any airway diseases and all. Supportive care. Prevention and control is through vaccination. Vaccination is not practiced actually in India, but routine canine vaccination is practiced in the other countries. And we can isolate our infected dogs from the normal dogs. And proper kennel ventilation, kennel cleans. Use disinfectants such as sodium hypochlorite, chlorhexidine, and benzylalkylonium chloride to clean the premises. So you can see the muzzle which is actually having hyperemic condition. Thank you guys.